Heidi ho, neighborinos. Welcome to the Neighbor Ladies. It's episode 9. We're here with Karen J., Suzanne, and me, Colleen. Boston is on vacation, but we also have Handyman Grant. So, getting ready for lots of things. The beginning of the school year, the state fair, the end of summer. But Karen J., you wanted to talk about something.
All right. I just want to preface this by saying I may be ignorant about certain topics, but at least I'm willing to go there. So let's talk about Black Lives Matter and the state fair protests.
Okay.
There's been a lot of controversy around this.
Yeah.
Now, the group plans to march from Hamlin Park north on Snelling Avenue to the fairgrounds at 11 o'clock. As of Monday, there were 600 people saying they were going to participate. I might participate. I haven't decided. To find a Kevlar vest first.
I hope not. I hope it's not going to be like that. That's my biggest fear about the whole protest.
That someone will get hurt.
Yeah, because, and this is going to sound, you know what? This is going to sound prejudiced against people who live in our smaller towns or our smaller communities. And this is, I don't care. There's going to be a large Jethro factor, I think, on Saturday at the fair.
Yeah.
And people who, might be less tolerant and less.
They like the pumpkin.
Yeah, I'm worried about.
Well, let's just be honest.
People starting with
small minds.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when it could be an effective protest.
Right.
So they have no plans to enter the fairgrounds. They just intend to disrupt traffic and inconvenience fairgoers.
So it's starting at Hamlin and what?
Hamlin Park, and then going up Snelling to the fairgrounds.
Okay. How many people are they?
I mean, I'm sure it's
guesstimating?
grown by. It was at 600 people on Monday. I'm sure it's going to be over 1,000.
Okay.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Unless something bad happens.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
As an outside person
Hello, Handyman Grant.
This is Grant. I'm just going to be the devil's advocate here for you.
Okay.
I'm a person who works at the fair, and I need to get to that fair to go to work that day.
Right.
Where are you going to be so I know not to have to deal with that? Because I'm going to try to find parking. I don't want to be late for my job. These are things that I understand you're doing, but there are other people there that are not, they're there to make a living.
Right.
And so fairgoers are one thing, but there are other people there that are trying to make a living.
Well, first of all, they're going to start around 11, so you'll probably already be at the fair.
Yeah. So I'm just playing devil's
But there's
advocate here.
no,
and I don't mean to put you on the
and
spot.
quite honestly, I don't know if I'll be there. I mean, I like to sleep in on Saturdays, so I don't know. But I do support Black Lives Matter.
And I'm all about that too. But don't you feel like there's a better
there's-
way than disrupting a huge piece of commerce of this?
That's
town?
that's the whole point of a protest. It's not meant to be convenient.
But can't you protest I don't know. I feel like there's public events that aren't so based on a lot of people's livelihoods. Some of these fair people that's all they do. A lot of these people that go to the state fair, or not go, but work at the state fair. That's their family. My roommate, for instance, is one of them. He owns the Cafe Carib there.
Sure.
And that's their family business. That's what he does. 12 days a year to make money. Isn't there a way where we can get this great message out that I'm not saying I'm against and I'm totally for it, but find a better venue? Or
I think what's upsetting for people is because it's here in Minnesota, and we don't expect to see protests of this magnitude here, and especially not at it's the happiest place on earth. It's the state fair, right? Everybody has a good feeling about the state fair. Everybody feels like, I have every single wonderful memory there,
Right.
and now there's going to be some
an impact.
some conflict.
Yeah.
An impact.
There's going to be conflict there. There's
Yeah.
people are going to be
Right.
because it's stopping you.
You can't put white people and make the inconvenience them from getting to their cheese curds.
Well,
They
right.
will go ape
Exactly.
shit. They
But,
will.
but so
That's true.
But okay, so it's there. Just think about this. Okay, being devil's advocate. I'm going to be the devil's advocate for the devil's advocate
Cool.
or
Yeah.
something like that. It's one day. Protests are meant to be disruptive because it's meant to make people stop doing what they're doing and think.
Yep.
And it's meant to be incredibly visible. And what more visibility can you get than on the first Saturday of an event that people look forward to every year? And so this is their business. It's one day out of their business for the whole year. And if this is the only thing that they do, then it's one day out of the year. No matter where they hold the protest, people's lives will be disrupted.
Absolutely.
So I think they've picked an effective location. They've
Yep.
picked an effective day.
Mm-hmm.
My only fear is violence.
Yep.
And I'm honestly, I don't think the protesters are going to be starting violence. I'm only, like I said, I'm only worried about
Jethro.
Yeah,
I'm
if
worried
you
about
Yes.
the
Yeah.
Jethro factor.
If you tuned
Yes.
up fairgoers, you get some kids there that are close to that 21 age, and they're just there to bark a few. It's
That's what I'm scared.
I am
Yes.
too. You're gonna have some people there that are gonna try to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing to you guys, and I'm worried
as
that you guys are gonna be
protesters,
safe.
I mean, they know that what the
Risk
they,
is?
They know the
They're
risks.
taking the risk.
And I think their whole point is like they want to get people pissed off.
Yeah.
They want you to think about lives other than their own.
That's a great point. And that's definitely at the state fair. I mean, and the first Saturday usually always sets a record for attendance. So you're going to get,
Right.
like you said, the impact, the exposure, the visual that you need to get out there will be achieved 100%.
Right.
So I think that is a great approach. I
don't even know if it's pissed off. I think they're just trying to get the visibility.
Yeah.
You know, like
Oh, they
there's so
want people
much-
to get angry.
I
They're
think-
they're trying to make people angry because they want you to be angry and then they want you to think about it.
Uh-huh.
Like how does race play a role in our social structure?
Absolutely.
Can you maybe you could think about that while you're on your way to get fried food on a stick.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I agree with all of their tactics.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you
No,
on the
I mean
spot.
I'm not
just
the
think this-
spokesperson for Black
Yeah.
Lives Matter. I'm not even black.
You are in the show right now. 'Cause-
Well, you're more black than me right now.
well,
I mean, I will
I try.
I'll say this, as a minority, I stand behind them because
Yeah.
I can relate to that.
As a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white chick, I stand behind them too. I think it's going to be an incredible day.
Moving experience.
But I'm worried about it. I can't help, and I'm sure the people that are protesting are going to be worried about it too. If
Yeah.
I tell you, if I was the mother of a young black man, I wouldn't want them to go. I
Right.
could see why they would want to go, and I would be of two minds of it because I would be. But then again, if I was the mother of a young black man, I would be afraid to have them go out on a Friday night and walk home by themselves. I got to tell you a story, okay? So, Mitch and Leah, they're my neighbors from a long time ago, and they're black, and Leah's a school principal. Mitch works at the Ford plant, and their son David. We all sort of had dinner together. We went shopping together. Leah was my workout buddy, and then when she couldn't work out with me, Mitch was my workout buddy. I mean, we were just through the alleyway. We were always connected. We were always doing something. Mitch and I coordinated the neighborhood kickball games for the kids, right? And my kids hung out with David. And David, I think, was not their first black friend because I've always lived in... Well, no, I've always lived in... I lived in Frogtown. I lived on the east side of
Right.
St. Paul.
Right.
I've always lived... My people are Irish, German. We're servant class.
Yeah.
The first person that went to college in my lineage was in the 50s, the 1950s. It was my Uncle Jim. The rest of us have all been laborers.
Right.
So, I
Same
do not,
with my family.
I do not, although I'm going to get to my white privilege that I'm fully aware of, or not even fully. I'd say I'm about 65% of the way there, because I don't think you can ever be 100% aware of your white privilege. But it was a teaching moment for me because the kids were getting older, and David turned 13 and he had a girlfriend, right?
Right.
And so Mitch, who's like a big guy, big, strong guy, and he said, I had to have the talk with David. And I said, oh, the talk, right? Oh,
Yeah.
the talk, I'm not looking forward to that with Isaac, my son, and I had a different talk with Amanda. And he said, no, I had to have the talk with him about, David's he's going to inherit my size. and he's going to inherit my. I mean, he said, I'm a big black man,
Yeah.
and people are automatically intimidated by me when
Right.
I walk into a room, and they're automatically afraid of me, no matter how intelligent I am and no matter how eloquent I am. They're automatically on edge when I walk into the room. And he said, and David is going to inherit those qualities. And I'm thinking, and that just blew my mind, right? And because I'm thinking of little sweet David, and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking of people being afraid of him.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
just because he walked into a room.
Right.
So, anyway, that's just I don't even know. Again, that's like one of those things. I try to put every experience through that sieve, through that story, and I try to think, okay, this is somebody's kid, this is somebody's sweet little boy, and I have to temper every experience through that story,
Right.
somehow,
Yeah, we have to make it personal somehow so we can relate to it.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know. I mean, I've said ignorant things before. When the Black Lives Matter movement came out on social media, I was one of the first ones to put all lives matter,
Right.
and then that bit me in the ass because they're like, of course all lives matter, but this isn't about all lives. This is about black lives and brown lives, and I'm like, why not yellow lives? We matter too,
Right.
And then
Right.
today I saw scrolling down this white lives matter meme, and I'm just like, really, guys, like, is that necessary? we know white lives matter. We live in America. Come on. So I don't know, we're all a little bit ignorant, right?
Right.
And I don't know, I guess and I feel bad even making criticisms because I feel like it's not my place to say.
Well, what are you criticizing?
I guess I feel like I don't know, like maybe they should go a step further besides just protesting and making people, inconveniencing people. Maybe go a step further and maybe try to lobby for things that they want to see changed or have a message.
I think that happens. Don't you feel like lobbying happens all the time?
Not for the movement though. I mean, so far all they've done is really disrupt events.
Maybe that's just
I
how
think
it
it's
started.
really hard to get all that stuff organized.
Well, sure, it's not easy.
Right.
That's why not everybody does it.
Right.
But if this is an important issue, which it is, I think they need to. And they need to have some strong leadership. Not saying that their leadership's not strong, but I'm saying like they could really be effective, like even more effective than they are right now. I
think they will be. I don't
I
think
hope
this
they
is
will
going
be.
away anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see that. I want to see them succeed and actually affect real change.
I think you'll get your wish. I think they will.
Good.
That said, I'm afraid of violence on Saturday. I'm afraid of people getting hurt. But I understand. It's got to happen.
I'm not going to the fair on Saturday.
I can't go. I have to work.
Me too.
I might go.
Will you
I'll go see Grant.
report back to us?
Of course.
Oh,
Ca-
Grant, you're going to be
Excellent.
out there. Yeah.
Cafe Carib. Come out and see me.
Okay,
Say
I
hi.
will. Can I
Okay.
get a hookup on some free food?
I would love to say that, but my roommate who owns the place is listening, so no.
He listens to the show.
On the
does.
on the
Thanks,
okay,
guy.
Grant,
Yeah.
on the low. Just kidding.
Yeah, between me and you, wink, wink.
Okay.
Nice.
I mean,
Good
I
talk,
did give you
She
some
gave
fruit
you
from my
tomatoes.
garden.
I did. I got some fruit from her garden today. It was very splendid. Oh, that's not even
right.
a word, is it?
You're
Blended?
listening to the Neighbor Ladies here
Splendid.
on the Alive and Social Network. When we return, we're going to talk about pain meds with Suzanne.
Yep.
Meet your neighbor lady, Suzanne. Suzanne, what unearned benefits have you received by nature of your identity?
It's a tough question. This isn't meant as an insult to really anyone in particular, but it's a simple observation that white privilege has meant that scores of second-rate white professors have slid through the system. And I don't consider myself a second-rate professor, but I am white.
Karen
I
J.
totally didn't understand that answer, but that's okay.
I think she was totally dissing the system. Well, okay. So first I thought, well, maybe I receive benefits being a model minority, but that's a myth. I'll get into that later. But I guess the only privilege I get is that I'm less disadvantaged than blacks as an Asian woman.
As an Asian woman, don't you think that people think you're submissive?
That's not a benefit.
No, I know that's not a benefit, but I'm just saying that, like,
Oh, they do until I open my mouth. And
so
they're
it's
like,
like a sneak attack.
holy shit.
That's all. That's almost to your benefit. I think
It
it's to your
is, yeah.
benefit. I like that.
Colleen?
What unearned benefits have I received by nature of my identity? First of all, they are multitude. They are vast and infinite. There are so many that I probably don't even know.
Right.
I can't enumerate them. But I will say this. Every time I walk into a room, people assume the best of me. And that, they assume that they never assume that I am the culprit of anything. You know what I mean? Like,
Boy, are they wrong.
right. Well, no, but do you know what I mean? Like, that's,
I know.
I'm not, so,
Never judge a book by its
so
cover.
that's
Never.
it. I am not.
Especially Colleen.
I am not the culprit of anything just because I am a nice Minnesota lady
Yes.
with Target clothing. I
Right.
mean, I'm like invisible. I'm fucking invisible. And
No,
you know that?
Asians are invisible. Especially when it comes to voting. We're not even on the board. We're in the other. Below Hispanics. Yeah, we're not even recognized. We're just in the other 0.3%.
You can't be other now.
No, we're not even recognized on the voting thing. When they say the by race.
They don't say Asian.
No, they say other.
You're my
Wow.
favorite other, Karen J.
Yeah.
That's like alien.
I'm your favorite other from another mother.
Yeah, my favorite other. Good talk, you guys. Woo! All right, welcome back. You're listening to the Neighbor Ladies here on the Alive and Social Network. Check us out every week. Just go to aliveandsocial.com or check us out on our Facebook page. Find us at the Neighbor Ladies. We're here with Suzanne, Karen J, and me, Colleen. Boston is on vacation. I know she's very sad.
She's in Boston.
She's in Boston. Is in Boston.
Yes.
Letting her son go.
Yes.
It's a very painful experience,
Yep.
but not the
Yes.
kind of painful experience that you might take pain meds for.
Well,
Nice segue.
Thank you.
Nice.
Suzanne wanted to talk about pain meds, and I said I'm all for it because I tell you, I had the best fucking week of my life on Percocet, and I was so sad when I realized it was going to end.
Yeah.
I burned the living shit out of my hand, steam burn. 3 of these fingers bubbled up, like my knuckles bubbled like bubble gum, like whoosh, and I went "Wah!" like that.
And then you probably laughed.
No, I didn't. I was screaming the whole way. My friend Davo drove me to the hospital. He was like, "What the fuck happened?" I was like, "Ah!" And they gave me Percocet right in the waiting room because I wouldn't stop screaming. And then from that day on, I was on Percocet for 3 weeks. 3 weeks, not 2. Yeah, I lost that week. Oh my God. So let's talk about pain
Yeah,
meds. 'Cause
pain
I
meds.
love pain meds.
Pain meds. Mother's little helpers. Remember when they used to call them that?
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're too young. Yeah.
It's too young.
Well, I mean, did your moms take pain meds?
No, you know
No.
what? My mother did not, and she was given lots of pain meds because she
Yeah?
had very painful births. They used to give you pain meds for painful births.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, my
dilaudid.
mom might have. She was an RN.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
might
yeah.
have taken
Yeah.
them a little, I don't know.
Especially living with
She
your
slept
dad.
a lot. She slept a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll happen.
Yeah.
That's,
Yes.
she probably did.
Oh, my mom
Probably
was
was a junkie.
really into them.
Secret junkie.
Really,
Secret
really
pill
into
junkie?
pain
Maybe.
meds.
She was fucked up. I know that.
So it just seems lately that there's so many people that are having issues with pain meds.
Oh,
Really?
addicted? They're addicted to them?
Well, I don't even know if it's so much that they're addicted to them. They just like them.
I know
too
a lot of
much.
comics take them recreationally.
It's
Really?
Yeah.
Where do you get them if you don't get burned on your hand?
well, have your tits cut off. You
No,
don't get 'em
well,
then.
I can't
It's-
get. I don't want to get. The,
Yeah,
I don't
know.
have to
Well,
get my tits cut off.
You know, I
that's kind of extreme.
I honestly
No.
can't take pain meds because I projectile vomit.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From pain meds?
From pain meds.
That is a sad story.
Yeah, it is a really sad story.
Can't
I'm
they
allergic
just
to
shoot it in
codeine.
your butt?
It's
Hey, did you know you can take pills up your butt?
really.
Yeah.
And then would
Damn
my
right
would
you
my
can.
butt throw up?
It might not.
Might not.
And not if you
So what?
squeeze
So
really
what?
hard.
It numbs your butt first.
Marlene Dietrich used to take
Oh, my
all
God.
pills. I'm reading this biography of Marlene Dietrich, and she would put pills into her rectum because she felt that they assimilated into your system fast enough. So then I asked my doctor, and
Yeah.
he said, "Yes,
Yeah, do it. Do it. Yeah.
that's what that because your
Wow.
you have a whole second immune system, or your immune system is in
Wow.
your gut. So ask your doctor before you start taking pills up your butt.
But
Wait,
But it's true.
is it? What about your vagina? Can you do that?
I don't know.
There
know about your
is.
vagina.
Have you heard of the cases where people, young teenagers,
Tell us about butts.
not butts. I'm talking. You were saying vaginas.
Yeah.
Actually, there was like a story I read a
The
few
vodka
years ago
tampons.
about vodka tampons and girls using vodka tampons, getting drunk off of vodka tampons.
It works, huh?
That apparently I
I
don't
would be
know. I'm
afraid because it's like alcohol. I'd be afraid of burning my cervix.
yeah.
yeah.
Also, because I'm an
Right.
alcoholic, I wouldn't want to do it.
Right.
Good point.
But
right. Could you imagine the blackout? Oh, wow. No, the vagina blackout.
I need to do that on Friday.
put the tampon in
No.
there, and then you got to stick a lime up there.
Here's
Right.
what's scary. Here's what's
Gotta get
scary.
the sugared rim. It's very
According to
sad.
the World Health Organization, depression ranks as the world's fourth most devastating illness, and by 2020, it's expected to be the second only to heart disease. And you know, I read things like this, and then I look at statistics, and it's statistically known that a lot more women are into this than men. It seems as though it's funny because men become addicted, but women learn how to do it, if there is such a thing, as responsible use. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so that's what's so tricky about it, because stats will say that more men are addicted, and maybe that's the case. But other statistics will say more women take them. It's just that they're able to control, you know, when they take them, how many they take, and they save them for special occasions.
Yeah. Like I saved a Vicodin because I was going to get a Brazilian.
Yeah.
I was so glad I
that
did.
was smart.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, I asked my doctor, I said, can you just give me a prescription for like 2 Vicodin? And he said, why? And I said, because I was going to get a Brazilian, and I figure like every 8 weeks or so, I could just take one. And he said, no, I can't give you a prescription for 2 Vicodin. You know, I was like, I mean, but every 16 weeks, I just get the prescription for 2. That's all I want. I'm
Right.
not saying I want, you know.
Right.
And he was just shaking his head.
Yeah.
No.
It's pain meds
Why
just
not?
aren't my thing. I was
Yeah, they're not my thing
I
either.
was into speed. I remember. I just want to tell this one real quick story.
Yeah, do it.
So I was really White Crosses. Do you guys remember White
I
Crosses?
tried to take a White Cross.
Is that
and it
speed?
didn't do
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
You're too
I thought
young.
it was like Dexatron.
No, I remember it.
Is that like Adderall?
Maybe.
Well, nah. It's
amphetamines,
it's not
right?
as clean as Adderall. So
A little
so,
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a little bit jumpy. So I was really
Maybe
into
just
They
take
used
them
to
to
sell those
study.
at the U of M bookstore.
Yeah.
We'd take them before like
White
all night.
Crosses.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, and like
No dose.
take like 40 of them and then just kind of like buzz through the day.
Yeah.
Well, so I got
Grant's
this great
drinking a Mountain
idea.
Dew Kickstart. I think that's worse than anything you could possibly.
What is he doing?
Mountain Dew Kickstart?
Oh my God,
Yeah. They're-
Grant!
I just got into them. I tried to eliminate coffee. That didn't
Yeah,
help. And so I
uh-huh.
moved on to Kickstart. It's
You should
Good.
listen to your mother.
Wow.
Drink coffee instead.
Yes.
People have been drinking coffee for thousands and thousands and thousands of years.
I'll go back to coffee.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
We
to
know
my-
what coffee
And
does
I mean,
to you.
do the hardcore thing. Just chew beans.
Do you know that they have chewing tobacco pouches, but of coffee beans? It's not tobacco. It's like a caffeine pouch.
Yeah.
My buddy used them to quit chewing. Actually,
That's
Wow.
interesting.
they taste like vanilla or different flavors. They're not bad.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mountain Dew shrinks your.
Oh Lord, I'm done.
It
Really?
does. That's medically proven.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I love you, ladies. You're just keeping me like my new mom, all my moms and sisters, and
Yep.
we'll go
Witches
with
of
that.
Eastwick, just for you. I really wish you could take pain meds.
I wish I could too.
I really wish I had.
But do you want to
some.
know what happened when I took these White Crosses?
What?
So I took these White Crosses. It was the second night that Led Zeppelin was in town. And the first night they were in Minneapolis. Second night they were in St. Paul. And so I had maybe like 40 White Crosses. And I thought, maybe if I snort them, it would, they'd be better.
Uh-huh.
And so, I crushed them and I snorted them all. And all I remember was being at the concert with my friend Wanda and Robert Plant saying, "St. Paul, you're much too much." And then it was like, I fell fast asleep. I remember
Wow.
nothing else about the concert. What the hell was that? Yeah. Strange.
It's kind of like you got to the end of the internet.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
How can that
Like
make
everything
you fall
sped up
asleep?
I have no
everything sped up
idea.
so much that all of a sudden it just reversed on
yes.
you.
Yes.
Your
Very
body did a
freaky.
reverse
Very,
whammy.
and that's when I quit taking White Crosses. I thought, screw this.
What conclusion have we come to?
The conclusion we've come to is that this is going to get worse, and it's going to get worse. And what's interesting, once again, we've got this thing with sex, and with the sexes, rather. Women learn how to control it. Women learn how to control anger. Women learn how to control all kinds of things. Men are addicts. Do you see what I'm saying with this? So even though the stats are going to say more men are doing it, it's not true. It's not true. That's the bottom line.
I like it.
Yeah.
Good talk, you guys. When we come back, we're going to talk about what heals you. You're listening to the Neighbor Ladies here on the Alive and Social Network. Hey, everybody. It's Colleen from the Neighbor Ladies. I want to tell you about another show we've got going on, the Great Northern Sex Cast. Let me say that again. The Great Northern Sex Cast. Let me say that one more time. The Great Northern Sex Cast. Okay. Longtime radio personality and producer Kelly Guest and pal. She's the CEO of Fantasy Gifts, Colleen Bertino. She's a close personal friend of mine. They bring you the Great Northern Sex Cast. Have you heard this show yet? It talks about all things sex. So you grab your headphones and learn everything you've always wanted to know about sex and intimacy, but we're afraid to ask. And Colleen is really the expert. She was here. She was here doing this. It's a family business, the whole Fantasy Gifts thing. So she knows what she's talking about, and it's a fun show. So to hear the latest episode or catch up on what you've missed, don't forget, visit aliveandsocial.com. Great Northern Sex Cast.
Meet your neighbor lady, Suzanne. Suzanne, what is the sleaziest excuse you have ever used to get pain meds? We know you don't use pain meds, so you can substitute
But
that
I
in for-
have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Jury duty.
Jury duty.
Yeah.
That painful, huh?
Yeah. Honest to God.
Karen J?
Well, the Mexican got a whole bottle of Vicodin from his aunt who was a cancer patient. And I was really worried that he was going to take them, so I wanted to get them from him so I could sell them to a comic. I know. And then I had to lick his anus, among other things.
What? Oh
Yeah.
my
But
God!
she
we're
likes
back
that.
With that again. I know she likes that. I don't know why we're talking about that again.
Colleen?
What's the sleaziest excuse I've ever used to get pain meds? I've never had to use a sleazy excuse because I burned my hand, and so I didn't have to use an excuse. But I tell you, I bought some. I went to Mexico. I was on vacation, and they just sell them there right at the Walgreens. So there you go, you sons of bitches.
What do they sell?
I had a whole bottle of. I got Vicodin for my Brazilian
Seriously?
waxes. And I had Vicodin for 2 years.
Oh, my
Every 8
God.
weeks. I just got like 15 of them.
Where
That
did
was
you,
like some pain-free coochie maintenance.
At
Let me
like-
tell you.
At like Walgreens.
It was whatever the Mexican
Yeah.
Walgreens is.
Right.
Where's
in
that?
Cabo San Lucas.
Oh,
Right. So I was
Wow.
on vacation and my girlfriend said, "Hey, we should go to Walgreens. You can get Vicodin there." And I was like, "Shut up." So I did. It was awesome. But I don't have any anymore. Very sad. Welcome back. You're listening to the Neighbor Ladies here on the Alive and Social Network. Check us out on the Alive and Social Network or the aliveandsocial.com. We're here with Suzanne, Karen J, Handyman Grant. Boston's on vacation. We only have a couple minutes left here, but we've talked about the Black Lives Matter protest coming up here this Saturday at the State Fair and the new intel on pain meds and women. And here's what I wanted to talk about with you guys really quick. What heals you, right?
Yeah.
What fortifies you? If it's not a chemical, if it's not a practice, what heals you? What can you do to take care of yourself when things are bad?
well, I masturbate.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah. That actually, you know what? They say that when you have a migraine coming on, because
No,
I
I
get
know.
migraines about once a month, and they say go rub one out.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll help stave it off.
I usually do it 2 to 3 times a day.
Good to know.
Folding my clit like it's origami,
Good to-
up, down, left,
good to
right.
know.
You know.
I think I missed that last part, but that's all right. I'll hear it in the playback. I think it's awesome. Somebody said the word clit. Oh, it was Karen J. That's a surprise.
Hey, we probably have some listeners that don't even know what their clit is.
That's very sad. They do. They've just put it out to pasture. All right. What heals you?
I think working in dirt. I like
Oh, gardening.
gardening.
That is
You
soothing.
have a garden.
I do
Karen
have a
J.
garden. I gave everyone here
Tomatoes.
from my garden. Yep.
Yes.
And I like to cook.
Yeah.
I like to cook too.
I like to cook. I like to bake, and I like to specifically try recipes that I haven't tried yet.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's something about the novelty of it. I'm working with familiar ingredients. I'm working with butter and eggs and sugar and flour.
Yeah.
But I'm doing something a little bit different
Right.
with it.
Right.
And I don't know what the outcome will be, but at the same time, it's a very it's an easy risk to take because what's the worst case scenario? It's either going to look bad and it's still going to taste good, or it's going to taste bad and I don't
Take
know.
out.
Right, and it
Right.
just take
Yeah.
out. So I
Right.
really like to do that. And I was thinking about that because my daughter, she's 27 years old. She's in a very stressful job, and I was on the phone with her on Saturday night for 3.5 hours.
Wow.
Right. And now she lives in another city, and so we tend to have these epic phone conversations because she lives in another city. But I couldn't help but I was absorbing some of the stress.
Yeah.
Not all of it. I can't.
Right.
But I was just like, I was thinking, God, what? She's your kid. You want to
Right.
take care of her.
I know. I hate that too.
What? Because your daughter's away
She's in
too.
Chicago,
She's away at
yeah.
school, right?
Yeah.
And your kids are gone too.
Yeah. Although
And-
my boy just got back from Afghanistan. Yay.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
But I was thinking we need to start talking about what we do that renews our zest for living and our excitement for living. And I was thinking that what are the qualities of something that does that for you? Is it-
Meditation
right? Something that
or working
where
out.
you can
Music.
be incredibly present. Masturbation, your first
Yeah.
go-to.
Right.
You have to be very present for that. There's
Yep.
no.
Yeah.
There's no. I mean, you can let your mind wander for sure, but you're
Yeah.
present in the moment for that.
Yeah.
And gardening is
Reading.
Uh-huh.
Reading is another one.
Yeah.
Or just curling up and throwing the covers over my head.
Yeah, but I don't know. I have a friend that's dealing with some sad stuff right now. Mm-hmm. She's literally been in bed since April.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that happens,
Right.
and then
God,
you
I've been there.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Oh, honey.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It sucks.
It does
Yeah.
suck.
It
It
does
does
suck.
suck.
No, it really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, I don't know about. Well,
how did you
maybe-
get out? How did you get out of bed after you were in bed for that long?
I don't know. I guess I just got tired of it. You know, like I don't know. You just kind of something happens to just jolt you out of it. Like you just decide to stop feeling sorry for yourself, or you're like, well, shit, I'm not dead. I guess I better get up and do something. Or you start to smell bad, and you're like, well, you know,
Right.
yeah.
I think when you try to find a practice that's healing for you, I think
Yeah.
you need to find something that contains a little bit of novelty, because that also leads you to think life might be worth living.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, you need to take yourself out of the rut of the same things that you do every single day, because then it sparks new neural connections and probably even new ways of thinking.
I mean, I guess my cubs probably are the things that always drag me back out because they need money or whatever.
Right.
And then I'm like, oh, okay, fine, I gotta go.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Well, I'm glad you got out of bed.
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been like that for a while,
No.
but I've been there for sure. It sucks.
Talk about more of that later. Good talk, you guys.
Yeah.
All right. See you next episode.
Okay.
All right.
Question, right? I can edit
Do we
this
have a
out.
question?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had 3 questions. What supernatural forces do you believe in?
Oh, yeah.
So we
I
just doing
guess
2 or 3? Should we just do 2?
We can just do 2.
Yeah.
We're at
Yeah.
35 anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's why I didn't know if you wanted me to ask that question. I was like, ooh. All right. Oh, wait. I'm going to edit that out at 35, 45, 35, 45. All right. Let me know when you guys ready to go. All ready to go.
Are you ready to go on Biden and Warren?
I am.
Okay.
All right.
Hodly ho, neighborinos. It is episode 10 of The Neighbor Ladies here on the Alive and Social Network. We're here with Karen J, Suzanne. I'm Colleen. Boston is on vacation. We also have Handyman Grant in the room. Don't forget to check us out on aliveandsocial.com or Facebook. Or if you're hearing my voice right now, you're listening to the fucking show. That means tell your friends. What do you think about that? Huh? Don't save all this goodness for yourself. Share with a buddy. Let's jump right into this. Suzanne, you wanted to talk about
Yeah,
something.
I want to talk about the Dream Team.
What's that?
The Dream Team. Okay, so the Journal reports that Vice President Joe Biden is increasingly leaning toward entering the race, the presidential race, and that he met with Elizabeth Warren on Saturday, and they discussed economic policy, according to a familiar person that was at the meeting. But word has it that that's going to be the Dream Team, Biden and Warren running for president.
Hillary's gonna be
and,
mad as
and
hell.
vice president.
She will be mad as hell.
Yes.
She's gonna lose her shit.
Yeah, she is going to lose her shit. But can you stand it? I mean, can you stand that team?
Yeah, like
I could only vote for Biden if Warren is in it.
you can only vote for Biden if Warren is in it.
Yeah. With
Oh
him.
yeah.
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 I love Biden.
I love Biden too.
I like him. Just don't think he could. I mean, he's got to have somebody really great with him.
Don't you think that they're just, I mean, this whole thing with Hillary, don't you think they're just baiting her like the whole Trump thing? You know, like they're just trying to get her real excited so she reacts. And when Hillary reacts, it's always about Hillary. And it's not really about the issue at hand. It's she reacts to media's talk about her, whereas Biden's kind of a loose cannon, but Biden reacts to the issue. Biden doesn't really react when people say anything about him.
Yeah. His ego is not as big.
His ego isn't as involved.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Because he's already attained the heights that Hillary has aspired to for so long.
Maybe.
So
Maybe.
and it has been within her grasp, or she has been within It's sort of like somebody is, somebody's baking a really nice loaf of bread,
Yeah.
and they're your next door neighbor,
Right.
and they're going to have you over for dinner, and you can smell that bread all day long.
Yeah.
And then you get there, and everybody else got there before you,
Right.
and there's like a crumb left.
Yeah.
That's Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And
That
she's-
is
and that's
Hillary
Clinton
Clinton.
every fucking Sunday dinner for the
Yes.
last 15 years,
I
and she's
know. I
You
know.
know, she's mad.
So what is she going to do when they announce this?
I don't know.
They're going to announce it.
mad. I don't know.
anytime.
What do you do if you've worked that hard for so long? It's sort of like
Yeah.
Susan Lucci in the Emmys. You know? It is.
It kind
like
of
they
is.
finally, it just got to be a joke, and then they just
Yes.
gave it to her.
Yeah. Yeah, it is like
Or
Susan
Meryl
Lucci.
Streep.
Yeah, it's wow. Yeah, I don't know. It's I think it's going to happen. I think they're going to run.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, then.
And Obama will support them. He'll endorse them.
And that's that. I actually, I think it would be. I'm for that,
Yeah.
or Bernie.
Bernie. Who would Bernie run with?
I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
I like Bernie. I like him so
What
much.
if Bernie and Hillary ran?
Oh, that's not going to
I
happen.
don't think that's
No.
going to happen.
No, that's not going to happen. Hillary's going to find it hard to find a running mate.
But I think her and Warren would be good.
Oh, Warren would never do it.
I know.
Yeah,
Why?
it's. Oh, I think Warren thinks Hillary's stupid when it comes to money. I don't think she's too impressed with how Hillary manages finances or her views on.
I think that's a valid point.
Yeah.
Yep. I think
Yeah.
that's a valid point.
Mhm.
I
Kind of
also
sad. I actually wanted Hillary. For a
Well-
long time, I did.
I wanted Hillary more than I wanted Obama, just because I thought she was more experienced than Obama.
and we see how that worked out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's been great.
Yes, he has been great.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now he's going,
Yeah.
and that's a sad thing.
Yes, it is a sad thing.
But I think he's going to be an excellent ex-president.
I
You know
think
how
he will,
Carter was
too.
amazing?
Yeah.
And has been amazing?
Yes.
I think Obama is going to do that.
I think so too.
I think for the next 40 years,
yeah.
and Obama's going to live to be 100.
Right.
We're going to have
Right.
like this awesome superhero ex-president
Yeah.
that's just going to continue to go on and do
I
amazing
think that will
stuff.
happen. Yes. I like that idea.
Maybe he'll get
Yeah.
involved in the Black Lives Matter movement.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, it would be.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, I mean, somebody needs to get involved with that.
Right.
You
Right.
mean somebody that's
That's black.
held? Well, no.
That'd be a good
Aren't
idea.
they all black in Black Lives Matter? Mostly?
No, there's a lot of
Yeah.
white.
But like a
Allies.
high-ranking official.
Yeah,
person.
somebody who can really affect change.
Right.
That would be spectacular.
Yeah, it
that
would.
change everything overnight, wouldn't
Yeah, him and Michelle, or even his daughters.
it? Cool. All right. Guess what we're going to talk about when we come back?
What?
The Vikings.
Football.
Football.
I
gonna-
love football. Stop it.
Okay.
All right. When we return, the neighbor ladies and football.
Fall.
Meet your neighbor lady, Suzanne. Suzanne, what makes you mad as hell?
What makes me mad as hell? What makes me mad as hell is when I am waiting for a parking place and I've got my blinker on
Sucker.
and somebody comes from the other way and pulls in. You know, it's kind of like that scene from Fried Green Tomatoes.
Oh yeah.
Only I'm Kathy Bates. You know, it's like I literally want to just smash their car because I have more insurance and I'm older.
That's a great scene.
Yeah.
Karen J.
What makes me mad as hell? When the Mexican tries to tell me what to do, that's what makes me mad as hell. I'm a grown-ass woman. I know how to cook and clean and do laundry. I've been doing it since before he was born.
Colleen.
What makes me mad as hell? It's like that scene in Misery, only I'm Kathy Bates. No. No. What makes me mad as hell? God, so many things. I'm full of rage. And it translates into sugar. You know what makes me mad as hell? It takes the wind out of my sails. when people are mean for no reason, and you know when like I guess it's not a good answer. Like mean girl shit.
Yeah.
I hate that shit too.
Yeah, I don't
Mean
like that
mean
stuff.
girl shit.
Bullies.
Yeah.
Yeah, mean girl shit. Yeah, any kind of bully. But,
Yeah.
you know when you're just like, I'm working with this woman right now at my other job, one of my day jobs. She talks shit about everybody, and
I hate that.
I just look at her.
Yeah. Because
I
you
look
know
at her with
she's
my mouth
talking
open,
shit
but
about
I
you.
put like the
Yeah.
dumbest face that I can on, and I
Yeah.
look at her like this.
You know what I do to
Like
people
the whole
that do
time
that?
she's talking, and she goes, "What? What?" And I'm like, you know,
People like that, I always just look at them and go, "What do you talk about? What do you say about me behind my back?"
Right.
And it
I
shuts
can't-
them right up.
I don't think it would.
They're like,
because
"Oh,
she would say something like, "Oh, you're so good," or "You're such a goody
Right.
two shoes," or whatever. And
Your
then,
eyes are so blue.
you're so white, Colleen."
I am white. I'm extra white. Soon to get whiter. Now 4 shades whiter in September. Like I'm gonna get extra white.
I miss tanning.
Good talk, you guys. Oh, welcome back. You're listening to the Neighbor Ladies. We have Karen J, Suzanne. Boston's on vacation. I am Colleen, and I have to tell you, you can find us on the aliveandsocial.com. But again, if you're hearing this, you hear my voice. You're just tell a friend. Tell a friend about the Neighbor Ladies. You know you're having fun. And we're going to do a little experiment here. We're going to have a sports segment with Karen J.
Oh my god!
We're going to have a sports segment. We're going to talk about football with Karen J. Back to you, Karen.
Nice. So you see how I'm getting shit from my co-host here?
I love it.
Hey,
I'm all about it. Let's go, Karen. Give me some
Yeah.
football stats. What do you got?
stats? I don't know. Vikings are 3-0 in preseason. I know that. That works. Hey, I've been a Vikings fan my entire life, so I'm pretty dedicated through the ups and downs.
Queens.
Oh my gosh! Shut it, Colleen.
I think we just lost our only male listener.
I think we play the Cowgirls next, right? My prediction is we go 11-6, or I'm sorry, 11-5 this season. What do you think, Grant?
I think wild card is a definite possibility for us.
Yeah.
I would say 9-7. We have the toughest schedule in the NFL.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of a
Keep talking. No, go ahead.
that's a little tough thing
yeah,
to get
but
through.
Teddy's
so.
looking
That's what's going
good.
on in my
Teddy
head
AP's
looks
back.
really well. Yeah, AP's coming back. It's going to take a lot of pressure off of Teddy with AP running up the line. So
Right.
I think
later. Keep talking.
I think it's going to be a good season. I really do.
I think it is too, and I do want to take a moment to give our condolences to the guy who was dead from today
The guy who was dead.
The guy who passed away
from the roof incident
Yeah.
on the Viking Stadium, and then there was one that was injured.
Yeah. Two.
And I
gentlemen.
just hope this isn't like a forecast to like what's going to happen in the future with the Vikings fans jumping off the roof. I mean, let's just hope that doesn't happen. But
So what happened?
okay,
with that?
so and
We're gonna
Saturday,
talk about football.
Saturday is my fantasy draft for fantasy football. And the important thing about fantasy football is especially when you're like the only woman with a team of all guys, is you want to have a name for your team that's really humiliating, so that if they start talking shit about you, it's going to humiliate them.
What's
so
your
my
name?
team name is Off in the Shower. So if they start saying crap like, "Oh, I can't wait to beat off in the shower," they'll think twice. And I can't wait to take all these bitches' money because I always win.
So what is fantasy football?
Basically, it's where you draft, and you basically draft players from any team. You know what I mean?
You
Everybody's
can make up
open.
your own team, and then
Yeah.
however that singular player does in whatever game, no matter where they are,
Yeah.
that's like how they've.
That's
done
how you
in
get
your-
points.
in your team.
Well, and you can so you can draft players from all different teams,
Right.
but you got to keep track of like who's injured this week or who gets
So
in
if somebody
trouble.
has a really
Oh.
good game, but their team still loses,
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter because they've had a really good singular game, and that's
right,
still.
and you got to keep track of the stats each week.
So you can't do dead football
it's
players.
like Dungeons and Dragons.
kind of, but it's really
No.
fun because you get to like talk shit.
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
You don't
part.
think D&D people talk shit?
Yeah.
But differently, they do it in
They
like
do
a
it differently.
nerdy way.
Elves. Yeah. Fantasy football
I
is
never really
so
got.
not nerdy.
Hey, fantasy
It's
football.
not.
It's not, right?
It's not.
It's not.
It's a 50-50
Listen.
split.
Hey,
It's not.
football is America's favorite pastime. It surpassed baseball a while ago.
It really has in popularity. It's a 306. It's all year round. It's
And listen,
all
Do
year
you know
round.
I have
And it's
never
because-
watched a full football game in my
Me either.
life?
Woo!
jeez.
We have high five.
I used
Hey.
to watch it with my parents when Fran Tarkington was. So that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
I
And
remember.
That's a
I
while back.
loved watching Fran Tarkington.
Yeah.
Because the guy was bananas.
Yes.
And I still I was looking at YouTube videos because I knew you wanted to talk about the Vikings tonight,
Yeah.
and I remembered that time, that sort of magical time that Fran Tarkington was in the Vikings, and I YouTubed that shit, and I was laughing and it was like watching a fucking crazy cat video.
Yes.
Watching him go all over the place, and I thought if they had something like that now,
Right.
right? But I don't know.
They don't do anything. They move like
It's so slow.
yeah. Karen,
stop all the time.
Why is that? It's like it's like they run for like maybe a yard, and
Then
then
they gotta stop.
they stop, and then
It's
they
really not
they
that
bring
complicated, you guys.
flags out,
Well, it's
and
not
then they
that
do.
it's complicated. I didn't say I don't understand it.
Okay.
I just said
I love it.
it just stops all the
It's-
time.
I love that they stop because it gives you a chance to talk shit and be like, oh, they should do this, or you know what I mean?
Right,
Like you can
right.
get really involved in it.
Builds
Right.
anticipation.
It does.
really
so
does.
so you can become like
You're like a super fan.
another coach.
You sort of feel like you're part of the game because
Yeah.
you're so active.
Okay.
and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
It-
so what's going to happen with the Vikings this year?
they're gonna go 11-5 and be the wild card. I think.
What does that mean?
Means they're gonna make the playoffs at the last minute like they always do.
And then they're going to disappoint everybody. Everybody's gonna
I
say,
don't know.
It's going to be. Then Lucy's going to yank the football away, and Charlie Brown's going to fall flat on his back.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I know I kind of bargained with God back when I believed in him, and he told me that the Vikings are going to win a Super Bowl in my lifetime.
Really?
Yes.
I love that.
No, really.
That's why I believe you. Do
Yeah.
you see this? I believe you.
Yeah.
So it's going to happen for me then.
I mean, it's a real dysfunctional relationship I have being a Vikings fan.
Oh,
They let me down all the time.
I
It's
thought you
tough.
were talking about your relationship with God.
Oh, that's kind of non-existent.
I was going to
right
say,
now.
based on the comment you made, it's a pretty rough relationship.
I mean,
When I was friends with God.
listen, every time I've reached
When we
out to
hung
God,
out.
he's always like in the bathroom or puts me on hold. He's just not there for me.
Yeah.
He's not.
I've never met him.
That's really
So,
good
anyways,
Vikings
the
talk.
reason why football is America's favorite pastime, I believe, is because one, America loves violence. There's definitely violence there. Two, I think as humans we have a huge desire to be a part of something
Yeah.
bigger than ourselves. Would you agree?
No, I
Absolutely.
think that's true.
And what else? Oh, I also think it provides a safe place for especially guys, but girls too, to release their emotions. Like you can get super emotional. You can cry. You can be happy. You can be angry. And it's okay to show your emotion when it's as long as it's channeled into football.
Okay.
You know? I mean, I've seen grown men cry during football games.
I hate crybabies.
Yeah, but it's okay to you got to release it sometimes.
Yeah, true.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing for football.
Yeah.
So do you feel like the emotion that this guy is holding in is something about?
It's actually about other shit. It's not just about football.
It gives you literally a time to forget about all the other shit. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I love about my Sunday. Sunday's like the time to relax and do whatever.
And it brings people together.
It does.
It brings people from all different walks of life, all different races,
I'm with
everything
my
together.
friends every Sunday. We
Yeah.
watch the game. We root for the same team. We don't agree with everything throughout the week most of the times, sometimes, but we always can get together and root for a crappy Vikings team.
Right.
And it brings us together and we go through the highs and lows of it all. And it lets me forget about all the other crap that's going on in the week because I know
Yes.
football is a meaningless game, but like of all the serious stuff that's going on, I can just sit back, relax, and watch a bunch of grown idiots beat each other up. And to me, that's relaxing. I don't know why. It sounds really stupid, but it is.
It
Lets
is
me
relaxing.
It lets me forget about all the other crap.
All right.
It's all right. We're
Well,
done with
let's-
football.
Let's get back to talking about cakes.
We can talk about cakes.
Did you see
just
her
kidding.
smile on her face right now?
Cake talk. I thought about cakes the whole time you guys were talking.
I know. I believe it. Hey, I'm
Everything
sorry.
else.
I'm
It's like,
not.
You know what I'm going to make next week?
I'm
Oh,
the
I know
most
it.
unladylike of all the ladies here. I know this. Even my daughter told me.
You are awesome.
She's like, Mom,
You
you
are
know
Nothing
you're
less
not even
than
a lady.
awesome. Grant is nothing. I got nothing. I have no qualm about football at all. I
Yeah.
don't care.
I-
It does it, but it falls on deaf ears.
Yeah.
You know, I had a friend that was in the Vixens, and the Lady Vikings, right? You
Yep.
know, or not the Lady Vikings. That's a shitty thing to say. They were their own team, and I did see a couple of live games for them.
Yeah.
and that was quite thrilling.
I bet
do
it
like. I
was.
do like being at a live game.
I got
just
asked
about
to.
everything.
There's
I got asked
something-
to audition for that.
This
Did
is
you?
But I didn't do it.
hard,
I didn't do it because the women look like men.
hard stuff. That is.
I was just like,
you're getting into a car crash.
Yeah.
Every game.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what you're doing to your body.
Right.
Yeah.
I would not want to do that. But
It's like the roller derby.
yeah.
Yeah.
Only. Oof. But yeah, I like being at any sort of game if I'm right there. But on
Yeah.
TV, just can't do it. Especially you
Right.
know, it's just like they stop all the time and you're
All
like, my
the
mind's
time.
Oh, good talk. All right. When we come back, women in athletics. You're listening to the Neighbor Ladies. Hey, everybody. The Twin Cities' best known garden and plant personality, Bobby Jensen. He's from Grow with Care and elsewhere. He riffs and banters with local radio celebrity Brian B.T. Turner on how to make easy and simple updates to your garden and landscape. Do you know where he does this? It's on The Lazy Gardener. That's another show here at the Alive and Social Network. The Lazy Gardener. No matter how big or small a space you live in or play in, you can visit aliveandsocial.com and learn more about The Lazy Gardener and subscribe. Check it out, Lazy Gardener.
Meet your neighbor lady, Suzanne. Suzanne, who is your favorite Vikings player of all time and why?
I guess I would have to say Carl Eller, and I'd say that he was my favorite Vikings player because he is a Metro State grad, 1994. Yep.
Fabulous.
Karen J.
Well, I was AP until he beat the crap out of his 4-year-old son. Anyways, now I would have to say it's Randy Moss. Because Randy's awesome. He's a real rags to riches story.
He might be coming back.
Shut up.
He announced that last Sunday. He's trying to make a comeback.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I agree with you. Colleen?
I don't know any of them, so I'm going to have to say Fran Tarkington because that's the
Yeah.
only one I know. Or that guy who used to do the commercials, Bob Lertzema. But I don't know what he
Benchwarmer
did.
Bob.
I don't know what he did. So, like, I just remember him from the commercials. But I know Fran Tarkington, and I watched that YouTube shit today. That's still impressive.
It is.
It is still impressive. Like, I don't see any of the other guys moving like that.
No, you're right.
And he's just a little guy. He's like a
Yes.
bumblebee. Zzz, 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 everywhere. What'd they call him? The Scrambler? They did. Welcome back. You're listening to the Neighbor Ladies here on the Alive and Social Network. Find us at the Alive and Social Network or aliveandsocial.com. Tell your friends. You can find us on Facebook, too. Check it out. You can see pictures of us. That's pretty exciting. You
Yeah,
can see
that's-
pictures of our snack.
Yes, that's really exciting.
Snatch?
What is he? No, I
What?
said snack.
Oh.
You thought
Oh
I
my
said
God.
snatch.
Oh man.
It came out very quick off the tongue. That's all.
See pictures of our snack.
Watch all we get like 50 likes all of a sudden.
She does have a Brazilian. My God.
Quick, put a
can see
picture of some
pictures-
fish tacos out there.
Let's see. What's okay? Can I just? I'm going to go up on the side here. Why does every place in the world have fish tacos? If I'm at an Irish pub, why do you have fish tacos?
They're
I don't think of fish tacos when I think of Irish pubs.
Yeah. Well, they're hip.
I don't know. Why do they have chicken wings at the Chinese restaurant?
Because don't they have the? It's like Peking wings, right? Don't they have?
No,
the-
it's just chicken wings. Like the same kind that they have at like black restaurants.
or like teriyaki chicken
no,
wings.
they're just chicken wings, fried
I
chicken
don't know.
wings. It's like, this has nothing to do with being Chinese. You're just trying to
I
mass
remember
market to everybody.
The one Chinese place that was on the east side, they always had a hamburger.
Yeah, see what I mean?
That's because
what place was
for when
that?
people are afraid.
Right.
Thank God they've got a hamburger.
Was that Sui Yep?
Yeah. Yeah. They had a hamburger. They had a
You
hamburger
thought
on
it
the
was
menu.
hamburger.
Oh, sad. Oh.
Speaking of National Dog Day, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, God.
Oh my God. All right. Hey guys, Ronda Rousey, she's our favorite rabble rouser. She's back in the news here. She's she's talking shit. Talk about sports people talking shit.
Yeah, what's she talking?
She's kind of my favorite shit talker.
Yeah,
right
what's
now.
she saying?
Well, okay. So she got down on Mayweather, right? She said something like, what did she say about Floyd Mayweather? She said, now,
Something. She was, I don't know, she made a joke about knocking out women or something.
like how it feels to be beaten by a woman,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Because
I think she was saying she was going to beat him, right?
well, she did beat him. She
Yeah.
beat him out of the ESPN awards, right?
Oh, yeah.
As favorite fighter or something like
Okay.
that. So this is how it feels to be beaten by a woman.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. Right? And that's a very funny statement.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
It's talking shit, but also very funny. And then earlier this month, Mayweather said, I've yet to see any MMA fighter or other boxer make over $300 million in 36 minutes. When she can do that, then call me. And then today, Wednesday, Ronda Rousey says, I actually did the math, and given the numbers of my last fight, I'm actually the highest paid UFC fighter, and I'm a woman. I think that I actually make 2 or 3 times more than he does per second. So when he learns to read and write, he can text me.
Ooh.
That's pretty funny.
She's got $3.5 million in endorsements.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
is kind of funny that he doesn't know how to read.
He doesn't?
No. Like,
Are you serious?
dude, you couldn't take some of that money and hire a tutor or hooked on phonics or something?
No, you've got to be kidding
I'm not
me.
kidding. He doesn't know how to read. He can't read.
And that's
is it like
general
past
knowledge?
Yes, it's like what is it?
Oh,
He can't
that's
read past the
sad.
5th grade level or something.
Well, that's most of America.
Well, right, but I mean, 5th
But
grade is
Even
you're-
that, like he's really like illiterate.
Yeah, I don't know. What were you reading in 5th grade? I was reading.
Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah, I was reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was reading the paperback books with the binding broke. I mean, I was a voracious.
Me too.
I was
Yeah.
reading
yeah.
like Wifey. Seriously, like sad Stepford Wives. I was reading like spicy paperback shit.
Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
Penthouse letters.
I didn't understand it, but I could comprehend what the words were.
Right.
That is really sad. That is super sad. And
I think
yeah.
it's funny as shit.
really.
Yes, because he hasn't. There's no excuse for him not to know how to read now.
Maybe he's afraid, though. You know, like sometimes when you're afraid, then you
Please.
just become really stubborn. Particularly with men, when they're afraid about something, then they get really stubborn, and then they like build a wall around their supposed where the sore spot, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well I can't read. Well, fuck you. I'm a
Right.
gazillionaire, and I still can't read."
Right.
Ha ha! See?
Yeah, how
And I'm
about
still-
that?
And I'm still a gazillionaire, and I'm making more money, and I still can't read. So now it's a badge of honor.
I could
right?
just see like how the fights with where he like ends up hitting women comes in. You know?
Yeah.
They like send him to the store with a list.
Oh my God.
And he just, can't you fucking
my
read?
God.
It said milk and Swiss cheese.
Oh my God, Karen. Oh my God.
What do you think he'd come back with?
Well, what looks like Swiss cheese? Tofu?
Oh God. Maybe he's afraid of stuttering. I don't know.
Get
Have you ever
over
known a
it.
Stutterer?
Yeah.
Get over it. I don't have any respect for any guy who beats a woman.
No, of course not. That's not
Right.
That's
Yeah.
that's not
Right.
good. But I just
Why
don't-
wouldn't you want to better yourself? He's got all of the money in the world. He could better himself.
Yeah.
You know? There's no excuse for it.
no.
None.
No, but there's no excuse. I mean, I'm carrying about 35 extra pounds. There's no excuse for that either. You know what
But
I
he's
mean?
a
Like,
role model. Do you know what I mean?
So am I. I got kids.
Me too.
He's like, but you know what I'm saying, right?
yeah, I do
Yeah,
know
I
what
know
you're
what you're
saying.
saying.
So he's
Yeah.
basically like saying, hey, you can make all this money and not know how to read, and you can still be successful.
and beat your wife.
But only if you're me.
yeah.
Yeah. I just.
Yeah.
I
Oh, there's
just
lots
find-
of guys that are illiterate, though.
Really? And it's common knowledge, and they just say I'm
Yeah.
illiterate.
Hey, listen, I don't know if I should say that. Fuck it. If I need to crash on your couch tonight, Suzanne. Okay, the Mexican
Why are you
graduated.
gonna crash on her couch and not mine?
Okay, or yours. Well, I don't want to inconvenience you and Shan. I mean, she lives alone.
Maybe you'd want to join in. I hear you do that.
So the Mexican graduated from Concordia University, which is a private school.
Yeah,
Um,
good school.
so he went to take his teaching license,
Oh, no,
and he couldn't pass the reading and writing section.
he's gonna love you for this.
Well, okay, so
That doesn't mean he's illiterate, though.
okay, he screwed up on the there, and there.
A lot of people have that problem now.
Um,
Because,
kind of like it's.
how old is he?
He'll be 33 on Friday.
A lot of people of that generation have, because there was something taught in grade school for that generation. I forget what the term is, but my
It's called
do you know
public
what it is?
education in America.
No,
In California.
No, in the public schools. No, I'm serious, and I forget what they called it, but it was a freestyle method of teaching kids how to spell, and it was freestyle. They let kids spell.
Yeah, phonetically.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't. It was phonetically, but there was a whole other word attached to that, and I can't remember what it was.
Oh.
My daughter said, because I would look at her papers. 'Cause
Yeah.
she's around that age. She's 27 years old, and when she was of that age, she went to this school, and I said, "What? This is bad. Like, don't you guys have spelling bees? Don't you? You know?"
Right.
And she said, no, it's we're supposed to do this. And I talked to the teacher. I went in and I said, the spelling is really bad here. And she said, oh, it was this whole method.
Right,
And
because
so-
it's a lower order concern.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, but there's
Yeah.
that whole generation has problems with
Right.
spelling. Also, autocorrect.
But this is grammar.
Oh,
this
man.
isn't spelling.
Yeah.
That's a
It's-
grammar issue.
Yeah, he's fucked.
Well, he went to take it again, and he hasn't gotten the results. So let's all pray for him, okay?
All right, let's pray right now.
All right.
You guys are laughing and I'm praying. Okay. All right. Good talk, you guys. Good episode. See you next episode.
Good episode. We're good.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready to go.
Am I being too mean to the Mexican?
No.
Oh my God.
I just think it's
Because
important.
he was mean to
It
you, and so
is.
now I don't think
It is important.
It is.
I mean, I just think it's crazy.
I shouldn't have said that about the Mexican.
What?
That he was fucked.
Well, he kind of is. If
I
he
can take
doesn't
it out.
pass,
I can take it out if you want me to.
no.
I don't want him to beat me up.
Oh my God, he wouldn't. Please.
Cat versus dog and why?
Cat versus dog.
What privilege do you receive because of your gender? What privileges? What privilege? Privileges or privilege? All right. Where'd my iTunes go? Ready to go?
Ready.
All right.
Hey, everybody, it's the Neighbor Ladies. Welcome to the Alive and Social Network. We're the Neighbor Ladies. Tell your friends. Find us on Facebook. I'm here today with Karen J., Suzanne, and me, Colleen. I am Boston's on vacation. We also have Handyman Grant in the room. And I'm going to kick things off. You know, it's, what is it, National Dog Day today?
It
Did you guys
is.
hear about that? It's
Yes.
Wednesday.
Yes.
So by the time people are hearing this, National Dog Day will be over.
Right.
So
My dogs
take
are
your hat
pissed.
off. Your special
Your
hat.
dogs
what?
are pissed?
My dogs are pissed because I'm here.
How many dogs do you have,
2.
Suzanne? What are they?
They are
Adorable.
Chihuahuas, and
They are.
They're Chihuahuas?
Yeah.
Are they shaky?
No, they're dancy. They like to dance.
Is that a nice way of saying shaky?
No, they're not shaky. They're not shaky, are they? Karen met them.
One of them looks like it could have Tourette's.
Stop it.
Chihuahuas are shaky. I'm not saying it's not cute.
I mean, the
I'm
little
saying
one
you
who-
always
who-
get a feel that
The little
there's a
one who
little bit
couldn't
of
go down the
pee coming out.
stairs.
No matter what. There's always just a little.
They're really
And
cute.
it doesn't take much. You say, "Hi, boy." Aren't you sweet? There's just a little bit of pee coming
It's
out.
kind of what they both do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're
a little
so
bit.
cute though.
They are.
They are. They
They're-
need to be cute because if anybody
Yes.
did that,
They have bubble eyes.
Yeah,
yes, they do. They look
Yes.
like all Chihuahuas look like Susan Sarandon. They do. If Susan Sarandon were an animal, she would be a Chihuahua.
The
God.
bug eyes.
Those soulful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you have a dog, Karen J?
No, I have 2 cats.
Did you ever have a dog?
Yes, I grew up with a dog.
What kind of dog?
He's a black lab.
Oh,
Yeah.
What was his name?
Moose?
Moose.
Because he had giant feet. He used to protect me from my dad.
Oh.
Well, he tried. He always would. He always would try though, and he'd sleep at the edge of my bed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
yeah.
Dogs are great.
They
I love
are.
dogs and cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I had a dog, Emma, golden retriever. God rest her soul.
Oh, yeah. I have a picture of her smiling.
You do.
Yeah.
She did smile.
Yeah. She smiled.
She smiled with
You sure it wasn't gas?
No.
No, she literally smiled.
She would look at you
Aw.
and you would say, "How you doing?" And she would walk up to you and go.
Aww.
And if you had something delicious, like a piece of bacon or
Yeah.
anything, she would sit there and like and people at first would think that she was raising her upper lip in sort of a feral thing. But
Right.
no, it was a
No,
smile.
it was a smile.
I'll show you the picture. I don't have it on my phone, but
Okay.
Colleen
she did
visited
smile.
my humor writing class one year, and she brought pictures for all the students of Emma smiling. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
You
It's
can't
adorable.
be sad when you look at a
no.
dog smiling.
No, because she really was. She was like, yeah, it was great.
She was a good. They're all good. I mean, if there's a bad dog, somebody made that dog bad.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
what I get to feel.
Oh,
I,
yeah.
there are
Yeah, they
bad
were
It's
cats.
so unconditional.
Cats can be born bad.
You
Cats
think so?
can.
Yeah, but dogs can't be.
Yeah, I agree.
Hmm.
Dogs can sometimes be born stupid.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they do eat their own shit.
Well, cats do too.
No, they don't.
Oh, I think so.
No, cats don't eat their own shit.
Well, cats throw up.
they throw up, but that's because they
Yeah.
have to, because they have hairballs. If they didn't throw up, they'd die. It's true.
I like
Like
cats. I
supermodels.
used to
Cats cats are way smarter than dogs. Let's just be
Cat,
honest.
I used to show Persians. I used
You
to
did?
be. Yeah, I did. I
I can't.
I had a lot of Persians at one time with those little squished up noses. Yeah, I loved them. They were great.
And you showed them where?
I showed them at cat fanciers, Yes. With the peacock feathers, get your attention. My cats would hiss.
What?
Yeah. They didn't do too well.
Can you tell me more about these cat? What are they?
They would chase the peacock feathers, and they were supposed to play, and the judges would take the peacock feathers and try to get the cats to do cute things and look staringly. And
Wait, did you breed them?
No, I did not breed them. I just showed them.
So where you got them from other people?
Yes.
So you groomed them and
Oh,
and
God.
trained them, or what?
Groom them like crazy.
Yeah.
Poor things.
They need a lot
That's
of
when I was doing a lot of drugs, you guys.
You would have to be on downers. Like if you had a lot, because then you just have so much patience to like pet the cat. Just like,
Oh my God.
I have 4 cats.
yeah.
and
you
they-
do?
I know she's got a collection.
I
Yeah.
know, and it just happens because I had 2, and I got them off Craigslist, And
The white ones?
The white ones
I
are.
love
They didn't even.
those.
They're very beautiful cats.
Yeah.
But they didn't even have. I got them off Craigslist, and there was a lady who was. She was saying, "I'm not even going to put a picture of these cats up because they're too pretty." And she was really nuts about it. She said, "They're brothers, and they can't be separated. They cannot be separated. They've never known anybody but each other, and they can't be separated." And so I thought, well, this. And she had this long Craigslist page ad. I think I have the ad saved. And I thought, she's just nuts enough.
Yeah.
I've got to meet her.
Right.
Right?
Well,
'Cause
she cared about him. That's
she
why.
did, but it was a little bit
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
And so I said, come and see my house and see if it's welcoming to you. And she did. And she looked through every single room. And I was just like, this is wild.
Wow.
And then,
Did she go through drawers?
Like a well,
No.
like
Okay.
a well check visit.
but she
Yeah,
went through
yeah.
all the rooms of the lower duplex, 2-bedroom lower
Yeah.
duplex. She asked me all these questions. Well, when do you go to work and when do you come home?
Wow.
And what would they be drinking out of? And what, and I said, well, I was thinking about getting one of those cool cat fountains. Yes, because cats have and she, what kind of food are you
Wow.
planning on buying for them? All this stuff. And she said, I think you can take care of these guys. They're just extra special, and I really want them to have it. And then she brought them in,
yeah.
and they were very special. They're very sweet.
Yeah.
And
Why was she getting rid of them?
because she was getting married to a guy that was allergic.
Oh.
So-
why didn't she get rid of him?
Exactly.
I don't know, but so,
She's probably regretting that right now.
I'm sure.
But then my boyfriend had a cat, so then we have 3. And then
Okay.
our elderly friend, who's 80 years old, had a cat, can no longer take care of him.
Skinny
Oh,
Pete?
Skinny Pete.
That's how you got Skinny Pete.
That's how we got Skinny Pete.
He's my favorite.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like him too.
Pete's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pete he's sort of the glue that he's like, if this were Sister Wives,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Right.
it's the last one brings them all together.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he completes the band.
But the white ones are, they're like,
Show kitties.
oh my God.
they're
cool
super
cats.
furry, and they take a forever to. I
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
get them professionally groomed because I can't
Right.
do it all the time.
Right. I used to do the lion cut with my Persians. Have you ever seen that?
You know how to do that?
No,
Can you do it?
I bring
Can
it
I bring
in.
you my cat and you can do it on her?
No, I bring it in.
because
have
that's
it
like
groomed.
$60.
Yeah, I know, but it's cool looking.
It's cool looking. I do
Yeah.
it twice a year.
Yeah.
The Mexican says he's going to do it to Jasmine.
Oh God.
To your kitty?
To my girl kitty.
Well, how many cats do you have?
2.
2? I don't see pictures. You don't post pictures of your cats on Facebook.
Well, Aladdin has his own page.
Oh.
Well, his name is Negro.
Well, I've been
Say that again?
Negro.
Okay.
Negro?
Spanish
Thank you.
for black.
Oh,
love that name.
Yeah. I mean, people give me shit.
is
Like,
he black?
I can't believe you named your cat Negro. I'm like, it's Negro, you moron.
Is he black?
Yes.
Well, it's a personal question, but I
yeah,
get-
that's why we
Yeah.
called him Negro.
Okay, got it.
Well, because the kids named the cats when they were babies. Aladdin
Okay.
and Jasmine.
Oh. It's
And
kind of cute.
My daughter's, whenever she comes home, she's like, come to mommy. And I'm like, you're not her mom. I feed them and I
Right.
clean their shit box. And
Right.
she's like, oh, your grandma.
My cat's name or my dog's names are Frida and Lenny.
Oh,
Yes.
I like the name Lenny.
Frida because I used to have another Chihuahua that was Diego, and then I got Frida and adopted her, and then I got Lenny, adopted cute little Lenny, and the reason I named Lenny is because I dated a Jewish man for 6 years, and Lenny.
Lenny from Laverne and Shirley?
No.
no, Lenny
Kravitz.
Kravitz?
Rose. Yeah.
Yes.
The filmmaker.
Yes, the filmmaker.
I can't say her last name.
Yeah, I can't remember her.
Rosenthal? No, I can't. I can never say. I just.
But isn't Lenny a boy?
no, Leni.
No, you're Lenny.
And she was a
No,
famous
it's a girl?
filmmaker
Oh.
for the Nazis. She was a propaganda filmmaker for the Nazis.
And that's why I named her Lenny.
Why?
Because I hated that fucking Jew.
Oh my God!
Sorry about that.
Don't apologize for your ignorance.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, there you go. None of my cats have racially motivated names?
Mine's not racially motivated.
Okay.
Well, okay, Jasmine's nickname is Gorda, which means fat. Fat girl.
Okay. Good talk about pets, you guys.
Yeah. Happy Dog Day.
Happy Dog Day, everyone, and Cat Day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cat Day, too.
Yeah.
Happy Wednesday, bitches.
Let's take a little break.
Meet your neighbor lady, Suzanne. Suzanne, cats or dogs, and why?
Dogs. Cats purr and puke. And dogs wag and wiggle. Simple as that.
Lame.
Karen J.
I like both, but I have to go with right now cats because they're not as high maintenance. And my boy cat is just like a dog anyways. He loves playing in water. He follows me around everywhere, and he even humps my leg.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Colleen?
I have to say both because I've had close personal relationships with both cats and dogs. But right now I am a cat person. And I think they soak up bad energy. I know that's going to sound weird. I think cats are.
No, I think you're right on that.
Yeah, there's something really witchy about it.
Yeah.
What do you mean they soak up bad energy?
I think they soak up bad energy and transmute it into positive energy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I know
Yeah.
they help me with my depression.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that this is medically proven too? Cats, if you have a broken bone and you spend time with a cat, the bone will heal like 30% faster.
Really?
There's something about the vibration of their
Huh.
purring.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, cats are pretty amazing.
Weird.
I think they are too. I mean, I like them too.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Neighbor Ladies here on the Alive and Social Network. Find us on Facebook. Tell your friends. We're here with Neighbor Lady Karen J. Suzanne Boston is on vacation. And also, we have Handyman Grant. He's sort of like Boston. Not really, though. But kind of. But he's here.
Kinda.
Yeah.
No.
No.
It's nothing like Boston.
He's nothing like Boston.
Right.
Nothing at all.
We were kidding.
We really were.
Boston's cool.
We
No, I'm
miss
just kidding.
Boston.
We do. She'll be
I
back.
do
Yeah.
miss her. It's weird. I didn't think I would
Hi,
miss her, but
Boston.
I didn't think
I
would
didn't.
miss her.
I do miss her, though.
I miss her. Yeah.
Okay. Karen J.,
Yes.
you wanted to talk about something.
All right. So we all know what's going on with Jared Fogle.
I don't.
Okay. So,
Jared Fogle, the subway guy.
yes. So he's going to get a minimum of 5 years for what he did. He had sex with 2 prostitutes. I think it's 2. One was 16, one was 17. And then also was found with child pornography, so it became a federal thing. But he'll do a minimum. He's going to do a minimum of at least 5 prison time.
Okay.
Now, there's this Molly Shattuck, who is a former ex-Ravens cheerleader.
She was the oldest cheerleader, right?
I think so.
And that was the deal. Because I remember seeing her. They made a huge deal out of her. She was in her 40s, and she was a cheerleader.
Yes, she's
Right?
48 years old now. She was
Okay.
47 when she ended up initiating contact with her son's friend, who was 15, same age as her son,
Man.
on Instagram. She initiated contact with him. They exchanged emails and blah, 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 blah. So they ended up having sex. They used to meet in, like, parking lots and stuff. Okay, so her sentence is 2 years, I think 2 years of probation.
And how old was the guy that she had sex with?
15. And she was 47 at the time.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Okay, so there's bias when it comes to rape sentences. They're lighter for females than males. And I think it's interesting to talk about it today because it is Women's Equality Day. And I think it needs to be the same as it is for men. Because if you're 47 years old and you're having sex with a 15-year-old, there's something seriously wrong with
Yeah.
you.
You know what? I'm totally cool with. I'm down with that. I'm down with women getting the same sentencing as men because it's over half of the women that are in prison right now. Mm-hmm. Like if they get thrown into prison for a drug charge, they serve something like 3 times more time than men do on the same kind of charge.
Yeah.
So yeah, why don't we take off some of the time for the drug offenses, and we can add on a couple of years for the rapes.
Well, I mean, I
know?
know it's not equal throughout all of the legal system, but I just think if we're going to talk about feminism and equality, we can't downplay the fact that boys do get raped.
Right.
And there is an age of consent for a reason. And it doesn't help that society and men say, oh, where was she when I was 15? Like, oh, I feel bad for him. He's so lucky, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm sure he must have hated it. It doesn't matter.
That's the whole thing, though. Men would never, as long as they keep saying that it gets harder and harder, then these women look like fun-time cougars, and they don't look
Right.
like predators.
Yes.
They are predators, though. It's disgusting, and it makes me pissed off. I mean, if that was my boy cub, she'd be serving her time 6 feet under. I'd be so mad.
I don't know that I would be mad enough to kill, because I remember having sex with adults when I was that age.
But that much older?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. And so, I mean, when I was 15, I had and I'm going to just say somebody who's clearly this woman's got a case of arrested development. Okay. If I'm a 47-year-old woman, and I don't want to be a cheerleader.
Right.
And not because I don't look the part. If I had that body, I might do a lot of different things with it. I might want to be a stripper. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that seems like a fun thing to do, for a night. I mean, I don't know that I'd like to do it forever, but you know what I mean? Or I might want to be, maybe I'd want to be an old lady bikini model, right?
Right.
I don't know that I would be a cheerleader, bitch, and only because being a cheerleader seems like a younger woman's pursuit.
Yes.
Like jumping up and down and being that effusive and that enthusiastic seems more like somebody in their teens or 20s. So mentally, you know what I mean? Whereas you can see a stripper who's like 50. You know what I mean?
Right.
She's like going to work that pole, and you know what I mean? So it's not about the body or anything like that. This woman seems to have kind of an arrested development. She's childlike herself, and I think I'm not excusing her. I think it's rape, and I think it's wrong. But I think when I think back to the guys that I had my dalliances with, and I remember thinking, I dated a guy that was, and I'm not going to say I was raped by him, because I wasn't. Because I've had unwanted sexual contact, and this was very much not unwanted sexual contact.
Yeah.
I wanted this sexual contact, and it was a feather in my cap, or a feather somewhere else. But it's something that I wanted, and I was thinking, oh man, this is really neat. And he's an adult. And then I remember thinking, about 6 weeks into the illicit affair, he was not married, but I'll call it a love affair. I remember thinking, this guy's really sad.
Yeah.
He's really, really sad because clearly he can't get anybody his own age. So he's sort of looking for somebody who will find him important.
Right.
Somebody who will find him impressive.
Right.
Because
Somebody
I
he
was
can
impressed with
parent.
the fact that he had an apartment. And then I was thinking,
Yeah.
he's 35 and he's got an apartment. Maybe not so impressive. That's, aim higher. He's, so I don't know. When I was 15, I felt like I was making enough adult decisions at that time. Because women, I think, have to make more adult decisions early on because the repercussions of our, just our biology, because we can get in trouble. Our lives can be altered through pregnancy, right? So I think we're forced to make more adult decisions faster than boys do. So I don't know. I didn't feel like that was rape, but I feel like Yeah, go ahead. Throw her in jail. You know, I don't care. I mean, I think you're right.
I think
You
so.
know.
Well, it's her, and it was her son's friend.
Yeah, it's creepy.
That's
Oh,
gross.
double
It's
creepy.
very creepy.
Double creep.
Yeah.
Creepy creep. But
It's-
And also, her husband had recently left her for a younger woman. So it's
Yeah.
like, how much of that is like,
total reactionary.
yeah,
Right.
no, but it's still sick, and she should have gotten actual prison time, and she should have gotten her
She's
kids
not
taken
getting
away.
any. She's not getting any prison time.
She's going away every other weekend for 2 years to a detention center.
every other weekend.
Every other weekend, and she gets
Wow.
out for work release. She gets to keep her kids.
Although, do they feel like she'll be a repeat offender for this? Now, think about Jared Fogle. I mean, he could be a repeat offender because
Oh, I think she absolutely will be. I do think she will be. She's not going to just get. She's not going to get cured from her mental health state or whatever. I don't think she will.
well, had she, we don't know if she's had other 15-year-old boys before.
No.
No. But, I mean, Jared had how many? Because they had computer records of it, is what I'm saying. 'Cause they had computer records of this guy.
Yeah,
and so
I think
it
he
goes
got it
back.
from someone else. Somebody gave it to him, and he had it on his computer, and then he shared it, right?
Yeah, and didn't he say something like, the younger the better? I mean, they got, and then he...
Something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
right,
heard
the younger
that.
the better
Yeah.
for the prostitutes. So he was actively seeking out
Yeah,
children,
and they
children
were-
for sale.
Yes.
Which is, you know, I mean, another thing entirely than sort of grooming somebody for a quasi-romantic relationship like she was. Like
Right.
she's
And to
grooming
me,
them.
grooming them is all a part of pedophilia,
Yeah.
which makes it even
Yeah.
more dangerous, I think.
More dangerous than purchasing a child.
Well, yeah, they were 16 and 17, the girls that Jared had sex with.
Right, but they're underage. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, just like if you were 16, I felt the same at 16 as I did at 15 as I did at 17. I mean,
I mean, they're
But-
both. I mean, yeah. I guess. Yeah. I don't know why I think what she did. I think I'm just pissed off that she didn't get more of a harsher
Yeah.
sentence,
Right.
and that I'm pissed off that society thinks that men can't be raped or boys can't be raped, and that women aren't perpetrators and offenders.
Oh, I
Because
think
they
they
definitely
are.
are.
yeah, they are
Right.
just not in the same numbers as men are.
And you know, the rapes of boys and men is way underreported because of that, because
Yeah.
of what society says. But the effects, the long term effects, are the same. You know?
I think so. Yeah. Horrible
Yeah.
long-term effects. Sad deal.
So yeah, I would kill her. Okay, maybe I wouldn't kill her. I'd hire someone to kill her.
Like,
I mean,
yeah,
the Mexican has a lot of connects. I don't know. I'd definitely make her pay. That's for sure.
I want to talk to my kid too because I'd want to make sure that he was. Think about that. Remember that kid? His last name Villanova. He got married to his teacher. Like he's still married to her.
Yeah,
That's pretty creepy.
You know what I mean? Like I'd want
I
to make sure
remember
that my
that.
kid, because if this is under the auspices of having a romantic relationship, like is this kid still thinking that he's in love with Molly Shattuck?
No,
'Cause
he
that-
was never in love with her. It was she's the one who pursued him the whole time.
right. But that woman pursued.
Yeah,
that-
I know. That was wrong too.
That and
Yeah,
he
that
was
was-
really young.
yeah.
Yes,
I mean, like that
was
kid,
really
he was
ugly.
very, very young, too young,
Very
to know.
creepy.
And he's married, and so this is his life now,
Yeah.
right? Speaking of like, Sunyi Previn, and
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen.
Oh,
It's
yes.
another sick relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
But he makes great movies.
no, he doesn't, not anymore.
I'm saying Hollywood.
Oh yeah,
Shame on you.
Yeah. Fucking Jew.
Hey, this is not an anti-Semitic show. The comments of Suzanne are not reflective of Neighbor Ladies in general or the Alive and Social Network.
when we come back, we're going to talk about comebacks and has-beens. You're listening to the Neighbor Ladies. Hey, everybody. Do you like food? Do you like food on your family? Is it hard to put food on your family? It is, isn't it? Let's start that over. Hey, everybody. I want you to check out this show on the Alive and Social Network. It's called Foodie Friday. Let me say that again. Foodie Friday. It's the father-daughter team of BT and Lydia Turner, and then they're going to demystify the word foodie for the sake of good food and drink here in the Twin Cities. Each week, heavy hitters of the service industry open up and discuss the vast and diverse food, wine, and cocktail scene right here in the Twin Cities. Visit aliveandsocial.com to listen and subscribe. Foodie Friday.
Meet your neighbor lady, Suzanne. Suzanne, what privilege do you receive because of your gender?
I had a hard time with this question, and I think the only thing I could really think of was there's been many times that I've been able to use the men's bathroom because I've worn bibbed overalls and baseball caps,
And you had your penis.
and that too.
The Wizinator.
Yes, yes.
The Wizinator, the plastic penis.
I didn't know.
Now it all makes sense.
Karen J.
I'd have to say all the free drinks. I always get free drinks.
Yeah.
Colleen,
What's the question again?
what privilege do you receive because of your gender?
I don't have to be strong. And it's perfectly acceptable for me to admit weakness in almost anything. I can, and there's almost no loss of face for it. Mm-hmm. And that's very serious because men can't. So I can say, this frightens me, and I don't feel any less of a human being, and I don't think other people are going to think less of me. I can say, that makes me really sad, and no one's going to think less of me. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
Yeah, but men can't do that. Mm-hmm. Suckers!
Crybabies.
Oh, come on. They can do it. They
no,
can.
they can't. Not really. I mean,
No,
not,
they can. It's changing.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
changing. It's changing. No, it's really changing. It's totally changing.
It is.
Hey, Suzanne,
Yeah.
you wanted to talk about something.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to talk about. Do you remember Morton Downey?
I do. The guy
Morton
with the
Downey
big mouth.
Jr. Yeah.
Do you remember Morton Downey?
I remember him and Howard Stern.
Yeah.
It's well, I remember watching him. First of all, I remember Tom Snyder. Remember Tom Snyder?
Oh, I loved
Yeah,
Tom
I loved Tom
Snyder.
Snyder too. And Tom Snyder was the first person that I remember chain smoking on television.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know what Johnny Carson did, but Tom Snyder was just like really
over and
into
over
it.
and over again.
Yeah.
And then Morton Downey, and Morton Downey was such a strange character, such a strange character. And then CNN did a biography on him, and it's called The Evocateur, the Morton Downey Jr. movie, and it aired on the 20th of August. I didn't see it. I saw some trailers of it, and it looked interesting. But, you know, I think... Remember he used to always say, certain things really burn my buns. Remember him saying that? I remember him saying that. But I think the reason it's become so controversial and CNN has taken on this movie is because there's just so much incivility and so much platforming feasted on anger right now, and Downey, I think, was sort of
He pioneered that.
he really did pioneer that,
Right. Because
And
after Morton Downey Jr., then it was okay for Jerry Springer, and then it was
Yes.
okay for everything got just a little bit meaner.
Yes.
And the meanness was sort of a novelty,
yes,
a respite from all of the sincere feelings.
exactly,
But now it's this sort of self-propelling monster.
right,
Because now, unless people get angry, they don't feel like something's happened.
yes, yeah. I mean, and the biography comes at a very interesting time with Trump. You know, it's just all the in nearly 3 decades since Downey's deal in television, the media's become increasingly polarized, and so is Washington. And so I
Yeah.
just think it's an interesting coincidence that CNN picks up this biography when all the stuff is going on with Trump and all the other lunatics that are vying for office. You know what I mean?
I think that it's. How much do you feel? So, do you think it's interesting that they're choosing to put that up now, at this time when Trump is coming to the forefront, and maybe
I
there's
do.
this is CNN's way of saying, maybe look at the theatrics of the people that you could be
Exactly.
voting for.
Exactly.
And how much do you feel that that media influences politics and vice versa? I mean,
Yeah.
art
Yeah.
really, really, really influences our politics.
Yes.
We are all storytellers, and we are.
Yes.
I'm forgetting this quote, and I'm gonna look it up, but my fingers can't type this fast. So let me butcher the quote, and then I'll find it later. We are, as a species, we are addicted to storytelling.
Yes.
So much so that when we go to sleep at night, our brains stay awake and amuse themselves telling more stories that don't make sense. Our dreams from, the little fragments that don't make sense, they come together in new and interesting ways. Sometimes they're distressing, and other times they're very refreshing and healing. But everything is storytelling.
It is.
And-
Everything.
Yeah.
So, art creates commerce, creates politics, creates policy,
Right.
creates anything you want it to. And so, these media outlets that have a lot of eyeballs and earballs become extremely influential and very important. So, good for them? Question mark. I say if they're going to have people take a look at anger and how to dissect it. I don't know that it's that, but maybe they are putting it out there like that. I don't know. You think they are?
I think they are. I think it's the timing is it's very planned. You know, I think to put this biography out there at this time, I think CNN is really saying, this is fucking nuts. This is fucking nuts. It's become a reality show with all of the people running for presidency, which is really frightening. I mean, really frightening when you're thinking about some of these people that are running for presidency. It's like, what? It's not theatrics. It's, who wants to get into office to be the best humanitarian? Not a shit ass, I mean,
Shit ass.
A shit ass mofo.
yeah.
I ain't gonna vote for no shit ass mofo. So you don't have to worry about that.
Who would you guys have narrate your life, the story of your life, if you could?
Oh, wow.
I want Samuel L. Jackson.
Nice voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice voice.
Because there's a lot of motherfuckers in my life.
I don't know. Who would I have?
I don't know who I'd have either.
Who's got some golden tones?
Morgan Freeman.
There you go. I was just going
Yeah,
to say
Morgan
Morgan
But
Freeman.
yeah, but he's too clean for me.
I want somebody British so it sounds smarter. So my whole life sounds smarter than it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, why do they sound smart? Why do they sound so smart?
Because their enunciation is perfect. I want my life to sound like it came from Downton Abbey.
Yes.
And then she woke up and she had a kombucha and it was delicious. And then she decided to take a nap. But one of her cats was flatulent. So she had to kick the cat off the bed. And then she flat ironed her hair. and noted each and every one of her split ends and vowed to get the more expensive conditioner next time. See? It sounds so much more interesting.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Yes.
I don't know.
That's why they think they're better than us.
They think
They
they're better
do.
than us.
You
The
didn't know
Brits?
that? Yeah.
Do they?
Especially the actors.
I co-teach with a Brit.
do you?
Do you
Yeah.
No, they do. Like it's kind of like common knowledge.
No.
Yeah, they
don't
do.
Think they're better
Yes,
than us.
they think they're better than us. They think they're more talented than American actors.
I love my co-teacher.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're not great people.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, Love Actually is my favorite movie. It's all Brits.
You have to see the Karen Tate show.
Okay.
You have to YouTube that shit.
Okay.
She's really funny. I think you'd like her.
Okay.
Good talk, you guys.
Karen Tate.
Yeah.
Tate.
Tate.
Oh, Tate.
Catherine Tate.
Catherine
Tate show.
Okay.
Super duper funny.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, you guys. This is really fun yet again. We're going to take a
Woohoo.
week off next week for the state fair, but then we'll see you again in 2 weeks. Until then, like and share. If you're listening to us, tell a friend. Tell
Yeah.
a friend. Really. Tell a friend. Tell them all about the neighbor ladies. Your friend Karen J. and Suzanne and Boston and Handyman Grant and Colleen. Tell them all. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.